Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. Welcome to the second cabin. We're headed into the Commonwealth cabin. You know, I've been getting messages lately that could depress me, boy. There must be some folks out there really struggling, desperate sellers, looking for desperate measures to hopefully make something work. So we're going to talk about that because I was in that situation just a week or two ago, and today is everything but that. This is an insane day. I can't wait to show you some of these awesome sales. But I want to talk about that process from going from those terrible times to the good times and the mental part of it. Let's go take a look. All right, yeah, I'm sure you've heard the phrase misery loves company, and that's kind of what I want to caution against here. And you know what? We all go through tough times in our lives. I can think of one that I'm not going to talk about right now where I was the lowest point in my life. And, you know, at some point, I think it's therapeutic to kind of be in that spot and to take it all in, but to dwell there and to quit is really another matter. All right, check this out. I haven't sold a board game in forever, and y'all, we're going to have two headed out of here today. This is the one I want. And look, I'm already seeing the box that I'm going to pack it in. Actually, I had to take turns to practice. Blue Ridge Mama said she's going to come down here and help, but I have a feeling I'm going to have to do this one. Speaking of Blue Ridge Mama, she bought this one at the Goodwill. I believe she paid $3.99 for it. I could be wrong about that. I have to go back and look at that video. I have to ask her. And that's a nice little game. And she got full asking price for it. $44.95 plus shipping. Y'all, I have made this, you know, pretty much my life because I enjoy it that much. But even for me, I was stuck if you remember a couple weeks back, I did a video where I had 2 sales in a day, and they weren't even high dollar sales. And I was like, man, this gets you down. It's winter time, and it's dark, and it's cold, and boy, I could have really given in to that, you know, this is awful. I'm going to have to do something else. I'm going to have to, you know, whatever. But I decided mentally that I wouldn't. I decided years ago, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and what's the strategy going forward when those times hit? And there is always a time to quit. Don't get me wrong. It depends. You know, everybody quits something at some point. That doesn't mean you're a quitter. And so I'm not being really critical of folks that make conscious, wise decisions and even changes to their business. And I'm going to actually encourage a little bit of change. But really what I did when I was in that point where there was just nothing coming in, sometimes it's completely out of your control, right? One thing I never, ever do, and that is find people who are having trouble and commiserate with the people who are having trouble. You know, misery does love company. And, you know, it's somewhat encouraging to have people who go through those struggles. But at the same time, you want to find people who have a mindset of growth. And so I watch channel, like I said, I watch Reseller Information Network on Tuesdays. They always get me inspired because they're in their listing or, you know, they're talking about their sales and stuff. And I work during that time period. When sales are slow, you have more time to list. And so I went through a few specific things, and I talked about them on the previous video, but I'm going to be more specific about them this time. That really got me energized again. And then after I pushed, I had an amazing day. Today's terrible. I think I have 1 sale, and it's past noon already. But look at what we're shipping out of here today. And most of this stuff is from yesterday. $1,488.66, 23 sales. That doesn't include a few DibDit sales that I had as well. Not live selling, just regular sales over there. And I'm super excited, but I have got lots of messages from people lately that are struggling. I still get the ones, you know, this is awesome, I had a great day. I still see those. But I got quite a few. I've got some folks that are, hey, you know, I've got, you know, nothing selling on eBay, but some is selling on Poshmark. I'm going to put my effort right there. I'm going to start cross listing. I'm going to do, you know, we have that list perfectly link. I don't advocate for stuff unless it's right for you, because really you've got to figure out what you enjoy. So we're going to talk a little bit about the processes that I went through today in this video. But the biggest thing I hope some people take away from this is surround yourself with positive people. And my titles aren't always positive, but if you watch this channel, you know that that's usually what we do in here. So one thing that I do when things are really slow is I look for an item that I have not listed that I know I can get a quick sale out of. And I even force a sale sometimes. And this is one of those. You know, another thing, I set goals, which I don't always talk about publicly, but I set this very public goal of $250,000 in sales this year. And that's a pretty hefty goal. That's not just eBay, but that's a few other platforms, and of course our district platforms as well, including some live selling. And I set a goal for $100,000 in live sales over there, including, you know, everything else at 150. And so I'm like, I can't just quit. I gotta have to push even when the sales aren't coming. So I was like, you know what sells for me all the time? What can I almost guarantee a sale? And a VCR that has a remote, put the AV cables in it, put a brand new blank cassette tape in it, in decent shape, tested and working, put a really good price on it, I'm going to get a sale. And that's exactly what happened with this one last week when I was getting no sales. I'm like, this is going to be a sale. I'm going to get it done. And we got it tested, got it listed, and it sold super quick, 45 bucks plus $45.95, I think, plus shipping. You know, I could have put that one out there at $49.95 and it probably would have sold because it's guaranteed, tested, and working. And I say that in the listing, and it's got the remote, but I'm like, no, I'm going to get this sale. And so sometimes psychologically putting a good high sell-through rate item out there at a really good price, not way under the market, you know, at least at market. If it's at market and it's a high sell-through rate item, it's going to sell. And so that's what we did with this one. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I saw any with a remote with that one. And it got a sale, and it got things rolling pretty good. Actually, we were rolling before that thing sold, but you get the point. Another thing I do, I had to carry this in, so I didn't film it. It was in the eBay cave. Another thing I do is send out offers every time. When sales are slow, I send out offers every single time I open that app. And most times only 5%. And I did that on this one. It had a ton of watchers. It's been listed for a week or two. Crazy daisy pattern for that Corel. That is one of the best patterns for these Corel dishes. These are actually not very fragile either. They're fairly easy to ship, and they're very thin. Got these at a house buyout. My wife found them in the kitchen. She's like, will these sell? And I say, that is crazy daisy. It'll sell like crazy. And the offers didn't even get the sale. Sold for full price, $124.95 plus shipping. So basically what I did was I doubled down. The dogs are in here right now. I doubled down on the things that I know work. Find good items, good sell-through rate. So I had been forcing myself to ship or to list my death pile, and I was listing tons of hats and tons of Tupperware and tons of, you know, t-shirts, whatever it was. And I got to get through that stuff, but the sales weren't coming in. And I decided I was going to get down here early. I was going to get out in that shed early. Sorry, the dogs are all riled up. And there was a FedEx guy was here earlier. And I was going to change my schedule a little bit. So I doubled down on the things that I know I should be doing. And then I changed something up a little bit. And I got down here an hour earlier than I normally do, and out there, and I was able to hunt. All right, I'm going to find these items that I can get sales on pretty quick. I'm going to kind of put the slower ones, the lower dollar ones to the side for a day or two, and get me some things that are going to inspire me. Dig through your death pile. Find that one item that's got a good sell-through rate, no matter what it is, and get that sucker up there and get a sale and get your mind right. And the dogs were really happy that I got down here an hour early because they know they can get treats, but you got to sit to get your treat. Sit. There you go. Thank you, bud. So just getting down, making an extra hour in the day, waking up about a half an hour earlier. You know, I cut down some of my social media stuff that I typically do as well. Here's another item. I found this specifically for this purpose, to get things moving again, to get things rolling, to get the sales, to get me excited. And I decided I was going to put gold on an auction. Gold on an auction always sells. And I can't even find it. There it is right there. It's a little 14 karat gold necklace, super light, 1.8 grams. Could have listed this buy it now and got $10, $15 more. Decided, nope, I'm going to put it out on auction. I'm going to get a sale. This is I think a $1 buy. My dad picked it up. I'm like, sweet, I owe you some money, Pop. And this one sold for $90 and change, I think, something like that. Plus shipping on auction, and like I said, a little less, but things started to roll, and then everything started to roll. By the way, I'm not saying that it's always going to happen like this, but boy, you put the work in. You know, they talk about TPP over there. I talk about it too. Title, price, and picture. I didn't do anything different with pictures. My pictures are okay, I guess. Some people criticize them. That's fine. I don't really care. I don't choose to put my time into amazing pictures. I realize there's an advantage to it, but good enough is usually good enough for me. But, you know, these things don't always solve your problems, but I can tell you what doesn't solve your problems. crying about it. Doesn't solve anything. If you remember that video where I was going through that slow sales period time, I was out in that shed and I found things that I literally have had these for months on end and never listed them. I'm like, geez, got to get on the ball. And I found this one. I put 3 of these out on auction on Dibbed It and they sold. This one I wanted high price, top dollar for, and I put it out there at a pretty good price, $499.95. And it is the Hero Quest Return of the Witch Lord. The reason I did, wait a minute, is this the right one? I think it is. Yeah, this is the right one. This one had the best box of any of those. And so I knew that this one would probably be my best bet to get a real high dollar sale and make me feel really good about what's going on. And I don't need to open it for you, I guess. Let me just read it. This is Hero Quest Elf Quest. This is the old one, 1992. And I sent an offer out on it, and there was lots of watchers. I could have waited and probably got 30 bucks more, but I decided, nope, we're going to get a sale. $470.25 plus shipping. It's going overseas. It's going to East Asia. So 2 little board game pieces. The quest packs are good. They're better than the whole board game, by the way. So you got to look out for those. So here's a great example right here. This is a sweet sweatshirt. It's new old stock. It's got the tag Mickey's Inc. And I don't like to send out offers at much more than 5% if I have a ton of watchers. But sometimes I will. And I started to put offers out at 10 and 15%. I know a lot of people put it out at 20 and whatever. But my prices are pretty reasonable anyways. So I put a little send offer out on this one, Coronado Springs. And it's sold. Whenever you hear these funky numbers, listen to the rest of this video and you'll hear some funny ones. And that means the send offer got put out there. $40.80. I don't know what the regular was, but $40.80. I looked at it, I'm like, you know what? I paid $1 for this. Do I really want to wait around? Or do I want the sale? And I sent that offer out and we got the sale. So $1 into $40.80 plus shipping. I know in tough times, there's a lot of sellers that turn, maybe you never did promotion and you're starting to do promoted listings and paying a percentage for that. I don't do that. Now, I'm not saying promotion's bad. A lot of people do promotion. It works. Promotion does work. You will get more sales. You will pay a higher price. I just, for my own business, I choose the model of, you know what, I'd rather send that buyer the percentage than send it to eBay. And that's what I do. But I do promote a few things from time to time. So I'm not against it at all. But like I said, since I don't promote, I'm able to send that offer out there, 10% off a really good price, or 15 or 5 or whatever I choose. Sometimes 20 if it's been around for a long, long time. Sometimes I'll send an offer out on something that's on 30% off, and we did that too. I re-upped my sales, my promotion, whatever you want to call it. What do they call it? My marketing, I don't know what it is. My sale at 30%. And I was doing items that were in the store over 300 days, and I always exclude some. I bumped that down to 250. So I got more items in that sale, and a bunch of those sold as well. And guess what? Some of that stuff that isn't the high sell-through rate stuff, the stuff that I was working on before that to plow through it, we almost didn't buy these at the Goodwill. My wife said, these are, okay, they sell. But she's like, there's 2 of them. Nobody has 2 of them listed. They were $1.99 a piece. It's like, okay, I guess we'll grab them. Not huge money. And send an offer out on these, $23.70, so 4 into that. It's not a huge profit, but this is a slow sell-through rate item. And we still got a sale. Everything started to click a little bit, so we'll take that sale. Y'all, I even sacrificed my OCD-ness, and I love to keep every workspace super clean. I'm like, you know what? I'm plowing through this. I don't care if it gets dirty. I can clean it up. When stuff starts selling again, actually, I think 2 things sold in here. Let me grab them both. This one right here as well sold, Waffle House coffee mug. And this was from before. This I haven't even pulled this bin. I forgot that everything got listed. This has been listed for a few days, actually. Tuxton Waffle House. No, I did not steal this right here. This one, we paid 50 cents at a sale down in Florida. Or no, this one was in Myrtle Beach. And it sold for $10 plus shipping. Nothing amazing. Tupperware, like I said, that slow sell-through rate stuff, but I looked at these, and these aren't necessarily slow sell-through rate. Salt and Pepper Shakers Tupperware actually sells decent. And these sold very quickly, even though one of the, see the P is there, but no S. And those make a difference, but somebody still bought it anyway. That sold for $15.95 plus shipping. Look, I haven't even got this stuff to the shed yet. I just saw this in here too. It's some kind of a filleting knife, fish knife. Rapala, I think. I think that's what it is. That sold for $15.95 plus shipping. So all that hard work that we were putting in before, just not on the best items in the world, that stuff eventually pays off too. So you got to keep at it. You got to double down. And we were also putting aggressive pricing on it, right? I could have put $12.99 on this and waited for a month or something. And this maybe. And these, I probably could have squeezed another $1 or $2 out. But you know what? Sometimes you got to put an aggressive price when things are slow. And that's what we did. I mean, you might look at that and a lot of people would say, why would you waste your time on that stuff, right? But let's just look at this here. I'm into this stuff. The Tupperware, I'm into it for pennies because I bought so much. 50 cents. I'm probably into this whole lot for $2. $2, and that's $40 plus shipping and sales. You know, the little stuff adds up too. So I know there's people out there who just do the bangers, just do the big high price stuff. And that's a great model too. But when you're trying to make, you know, substantial gains, there's a lot of stuff that you got to list. And those little sales really can pile up and make a good day. I mean, I've been happy with, hey, that's a great day. You know, $470, a ton of profit in this little game right here. But it turned into an amazing day because of all the other stuff that sold. All right, I've got an item I can't find. I'm going to show it to you right here. I looked in the jacket closet. This is a vest. And I looked in the other closet where we have sleeveless stuff. And it wasn't in either place. But my wife says I have man eyes. So I'm going to let her find it since I'm under the gun here. And I got to turn her to practice in a little bit. We'll skip it for now. This one, let's see, it was listed at $24.95. I sent an offer out. Sold it for $21.21. And it's got a $90 price tag on it, but I paid $1 for it, so we sent that offer out and got a sale. Yeah, I see a kitty right there. Saw Pepper earlier. See, we got these little flags out here, you know, that's as far as the dogs can go. So the cats know they can get away from those dogs. They run past the flag and then they stop and stare at them. It's kind of funny. All right, this sale right here, it's going to drive me nuts till I find that. I went in there and looked again in the same place, couldn't find it, so. Bob McAdoo, this one has an issue right here. I think it has an issue on the back too, right there. But this is a nice jersey. I paid $10 for these. I bought quite a few jerseys from one gentleman. This one sold full price, $59.95 plus shipping. And so the hard work that we put in making sure that all of the jackets and sweatshirts, all that stuff got listed early on in the actually late fall. And so we have this work we're putting in now, and that old stuff starts to pay off too. So, you know, even when times are tough, just plow through stuff and do the best you can and you'll get there, hopefully. But listen, don't surround yourself. Don't get into those chat rooms and don't get into Facebook groups where everything is negative and woe is me. Because, you know, even the social media folks that want to talk about, you know, eBay's glitches and whatever, and all that stuff is true. And I think that that information is important. But you can't get yourself stuck in there. Because even if all that stuff is true and you want to find validation why your stuff isn't selling and you want to find people who are going through the same experiences as you, that's fine to a certain degree. But in the end, even if you find that validation or a reason for it, or, you know, you're pointing fingers at eBay or whatever platform, whatever it is, even if you find that validation, your problems aren't solved. So I really suggest that you surround yourself in your communities that you have and, you know, reselling friends or whatever with people that aren't going to be negative all the time. It's going to drag you down. So, of course, other than doubling down on what you do know works, sometimes that's a good time to step out and to do something a little different. And I don't have any necessary, you know, unbelievable suggestions right here because everybody's different. But if there's anybody who's been struggling out there and you decided to do something different, something that brought you joy, something that gave you a feeling of, hey, I'm moving forward, tell us what that different thing is. Maybe it's a different platform. Maybe it's somebody taking a chance on live selling in the first time. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is. Tell me down below. What's that one thing you haven't done before that you decided in a downtime? Maybe it's, hey, I'm going to start listing on Poshmark, which I don't do. I used to. Like, I've heard a lot of great things lately. Poshmark sellers, some of them are saying it's going quite well. I even heard the other day that Mercari folks are starting to see an uptick on it. Maybe it's my tried and true Bonanza, although after you get it set up, it's easy because you don't have to do nothing. But there's not a ton of sales over there. I tell you one thing that I don't do when things are bad. Ooh, I want to go list shoes. That's never the case. Especially, here, look, see the low sell-through rate Crocs, but look, they were in almost perfect condition or perfect condition. Not a high sell-through rate item, but these are a child-size Crocs. But hey, $18.95 plus shipping. I think I got these for free at a sale. That was cool. All right, we got a substitute CommonwealthPicker.com person today because Reagan's not feeling well. Boy, Turner, they don't like it when you stand up. They're like, he's getting so old. You kind of made me sad a minute ago. You called me on your phone from upstairs. Turner has a phone now. He's 11. That's way earlier than Reagan got a phone.
She had, well, we all had phones at like 5, but not a phone where we could like
call people. That's right. Any rate, he's taking over today. He's got 2 if he can read my writing. Who bought what?
Mike got a blue t-shirt and Linda got an Enema Man.
All right. Where's the Enema Man? That's Mike Camparelli. And he has a new channel, and it's Mike, what is it called? Mike Metco Meetups. Y'all go check it out if you're interested in doing meetups. He previews and goes to all these meetups and sends information out. Go check him out on YouTube. And he's also a good friend. Thank you, Mike. Do you remember Reagan's line?
Bye, and don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
You did great, except for you didn't show him the stickers on the back of the clipboard. Oh. Thank you, bud. And I know a lot of people hear. Oh, I hear a cat. Oh, Pepper. We haven't seen Pepper in a while. I hear a lot of people say, oh, when I'm, down, nothing selling, I go out and source so I can get better stuff. And I kind of get that. But I don't think that's the best strategy. This is kind of slightly discolored. Got a tiny hole in it. It's an old Earnhardt shirt. It's double stitched. It's got the cool nutmeg tag. Made in the USA. And it was on 30% off. We listed this forever ago. And I sent an offer. So it didn't sell for much. But you know what? We paid $1. So, or probably less. Sold for $10.46 plus shipping. All of this stuff. The little stuff, the big stuff adds up to a huge day. Like I said, over $1,400 going out of here today. Call me crazy, but if no money's coming in and you have a death pile, going out and sourcing seems like it would just add to the problem. Here's something you could do, even if you don't have a death pile, is look at the next season. Spring is coming quickly. My feet aren't even freezing in here today, which is cool. And the sun is shining outside. And so one thing, because we just ran out of drafts last night, and my wife's like, you want to go take pictures today? I was like, sure, you can take a few if you want. Or, if you don't want to go out there today, why don't you go look up 10 things that are spring items and that haven't sold, that have been listed a while. And take those down and relist them, change them, look up comps, and see if we can't get the spring stuff moving with. And that's something easy you can do, right? Find those spring items and definitely, take a minute, relist some of those, sell similar, and, have to take a new picture if it's okay, but maybe tweak the title a little bit, make it a little better. Those first 5 words of a title are important. And maybe that's throwing it off a little bit. Maybe you look up comps and the comps aren't great like they were when you listed it. And so you got to reduce the price on it. But do a few things like that. And of course, all the clothing stuff that needs changed. You can do things to be productive without going out and spending more money if nothing's coming in. I don't often dabble in, model kits and stuff, but man, some of them can be worth great money. So if the price is right at sales, I have some good stuff that is sold for really good money. I need to sell. That reminds me. I have, probably boring you here. I don't know where I put it. I have a crazy good one. I'll see, maybe I'll find it and bring it on the next video. Chevy Impala 58. How cool is that graphic? I bought it at this sale. I was just buying it. Everything. The prices were so amazing. I just started scooping everything up, and I thought this one would be better than it is, but it's still good enough because we were buying stuff for like $1 a piece like this. And I'm like, just buy it. This one sold for $20 plus shipping. I even decided to put some of our old Faithfuls on clearance. And which is cool, because a lot of times viewers buy these. I don't know what this was, though. I don't think it was. So these are on 30% off right now at $10.50 or something like that. And we've made so much money on these, so we can afford that for sure. And that's a nice little sale. I gotta check, because that's sold. That's a Chevy Impala. That's a Chevy. I wonder if it's the same person. It is not the same person. 2 totally different folks. No messages, so probably not a viewer. Although we do have 2 viewer sales coming up. I appreciate that greatly. Looks like those are the only two for today. I surround myself in the reselling world, in life for that matter, with positive people. It really, really helps you keep your mind on track. And some of you, and I've said this before, and I mean this, you know, you're the only one in your house who's a reseller, and there's some people who resent that in your house, and they don't support you in what you're doing, and you're doing it for whatever reason, and of course the money's helping the family and stuff. So I really have empathy for you folks out there, and for you folks who are single, you know, that are doing this by yourself. And it's definitely even more important for you to find yourself a community. That's why I suggest people go to Reseller Information Network. They're just filming themselves for a few hours doing work, challenging each other, posting what they're listing, and getting encouragement from other folks who are resellers. Like I said, I surround myself with positive people. Most of the people you see, with a couple exceptions, Carrie, American Arbitrage, is very positive unless he doesn't get enough sleep, and then he's grumpy. You gotta find yourself a good group of people that can support you when times are bad and help you push through. Here is one of those viewer sales. Scooby-Doo keychain. Boy, we've come over here a lot. Ever since I put these, look at how many I have, on 30% off, where, you know, at that price I'm making like a little bit less than $2 a piece on them. But we've sold so many at full price, so we're doing fine. We've already made profit. Look at how many hundreds we have left. But this went to a viewer, Craig. So we appreciate that. $7.66. Let's see what he says. He says, a long-time viewer, but first-time buyer. I love watching your videos and have been able to implement a lot of your information into selling part-time. I want to say thank you. And I hope you and your family have a blessed 2025. Sincerely, Craig Davis. P.S. You may use my name on a video. Well, I just did. Craig, I appreciate you very much. Some of you who watch the Commonwealth Picker channel remember buying out all this old NASCAR stuff at a sale. This actually came from somewhere else, but this one came from that sale. We have made so much money, thousands of dollars off of that buyout. This one right here, we actually listed it incorrectly. I hope it's a viewer. Craig, maybe you'll forgive us. I think it says polo in the title. It's not really a polo shirt. It has a funky collar on it, though. And we let this sucker go on 30% off, and it didn't sell for much because it's got a few little issues here and there, but it's a cool little vintage deal. And it didn't sell for much at all, but you know what? It's finally out the door. $7.70 plus shipping. And I just realized that Craig, the same person who bought the Scooby-Doo right there, so we'll definitely refund that shipping if I can remember. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I don't always throw stuff in, but I'm going to, well, my wife might not remember it. If I package this up, I'll throw a little extra in for you. But if I forget to refund you your shipping, because you got two things in one, send me a message. Actually, no, because Scooby-Doo's free shipping. Any rate, Craig, I'm talking in circles here. I appreciate it very, very much, and we wish you luck. Once again, finds is the eBay handle. Appreciate it. You know, the older I get, the more I realize those old sayings are so true. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. And we were sowing a ton of clothing early on in the winter. I'm like, let's just plow through it. Let's do it. Get it all done. And we got it done, boy. And there's still some out there, but I've also bought since then a little bit. And we're selling stuff, tons of clothing. That reminds me of a little announcement. This is a Detroit Red Wings, new with tags, sleeveless. I don't know how often you can wear that in Detroit, but it didn't sell for a ton. But you know what? $14.95 plus shipping. All right, announcement time. So you know I've said this before. eBay's my passion. You get top dollar for stuff. I love static selling. I love sitting in here and just working and listening to music, watching different, you know, creators on YouTube. I guarantee you I consume more reselling content than any other creator. I love it. I've just, almost everything about reselling I love, except for returns. Knock on wood. So, and I did have one a couple weeks ago, but January's shaping up to be a pretty good month for returns. At the very beginning, we had a slew of them, and then I think we've had one since, so. And when you're watching this, it's now February, but it's right at the end of January here. So, at any rate, it is something that part of my business, and I mentioned the $250,000 in sales that I want in 2025. In order to make that happen, I'm buying more and I'm doing more live selling. So, $150,000 is the goal on eBay. That ain't easy to do when you put so much time into different stuff. But we, of course, started our marketplaces over there, Dibdit, and we are now spinning off Dibdit Threads as a new marketplace. And the reason is, for those of you who are listening, hearing this for the first time, and I know I'm only speaking to a few folks because a lot of you aren't, live sellers or whatever. Although they do static sales over there, but the static sales are kind of slow at this point. So I don't suggest people go spend hours and hours cross-posting everything from eBay to over there. There's not enough volume in the static yet. Although it's growing, I will say that. And so we spun off Dibdit Threads. The reason we did it was because Dibdit is growing so fast that there's not enough room for live sellers to get in there with the hours that work for them. And so a lot of folks were selling clothing and not just pop culture clothing. And we're like, you know what, let's spin this off Dibdit Threads. And we're going to allow more time for folks who want to focus on selling clothing and buying clothing over there. And then the pop culture type stuff, there's more time for it without overlapping shows on Dibdit. So it's been fun. So go check it out, dibditthreads.com. I'm hoping this next item. When I put items in here, I usually know where I put them. This is a funky one. Ah, perfect. It's right where I thought it would be. Sometimes I knew I brought it in here and I set it down there and I'm like, that's dumb. Why would I put it there? So we put it up here. I picked this one up. This one should have just come out on the Commonwealth Picker channel, I think, or is going to. And I picked this up at a sale, and I don't remember what I paid for it, to be honest with you, but it's Hunter Pro gold tipped, archery stuff. And it's a funky box, but we'll get one of those 48 by 4x4s and cut it down and get it shipped. This thing sold fairly quickly, $49.95 plus shipping. This is one of those items that I'm like, didn't really want to list it. Sales aren't great. This is a good ASP, and I'm going to get it listed. Came from Bass Pro Shop, and we did, and it sold within a week. They say free is always good. Well, I actually disagree. Free sometimes cannot be good. I was at a sale, and it was the end of a day, and I bought one thing, and I was looking at this bag. I was looking it up, actually. And the guy's like, you want that bag? I'll give you a good deal on it. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I really want it. It's big, and it's like, just take it. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll take it. And I don't even know what it's for. I don't know if it's, let's see if I can find it. It is a, no particular sport. I don't really know. Just a big giant bag. Sat forever. Took up a ton of space. And only sold for $11.16 after going on clearance. So yes, we're making a profit. Yes, we didn't pay anything for it. But man, it took up too much space. Some of you may remember these hats. I bought these. Boy, I got just shredded in a video because I asked for a bundle deal. And some of these hats were worth way more than I thought they were worth. Especially these Rolex ones. I mean, obviously you'd think, Rolex, it's going to be worth more, but this was tied to a race or something. And we sold a ton of those for really good money, some like $50 a piece. This was the last straggler from that lot. So here it is. A lot of these hats that I bought down there, see this has, I never even cleaned it. They were numbered, exclusive and numbered. This one was not, but it did have a cool pin on it. And it eventually still sold. See, you reap what you sow. 30% off, $20.97. Plus shipping. Only 29 left of the Donald Duck. I've been selling these posters off for years. Of 3 different types. I'll have to show it to you here because I don't want to unroll it. I just pulled out the last giant roll. And we sell them off individually, not for very much, but we put them in lots with the other 2 as well. And these are on 30% off. So $12.60 for that poster plus shipping. But boy, multi-quantity, man. I had like 50 of those things when we started. So, and the other ones sell a little bit faster than those, but they're a little higher priced. Need you to do me a favor because I am going to try the strategy that I've been talking about for a while, which is leaving the store open when I go away. And I'm going to be gone for a few days. And I need to, so my wife's agreed. And if she can't do it because she's got kids or something, Jess has agreed to come over. She hadn't been over much lately, but and help her ship. But I don't think that'll be a problem. So we're going to do a Q&A video next, and then I'll use screenshots for the solds. That's to get to 150,000 on eBay for me, because I don't put, I don't pour 50 hours a week into eBay. Nowhere near. More like 20, 25. So for me to get to that number, I'm going to need some help. So my wife's going to help me ship. We're going to keep the store open as opposed to shut it down for a few days and then ramp it back up like what we used to do last year. So I'd like to do a Q&A video. So if you have a question, tell me your question below, and hopefully we can get to it on the next video. Listen, tell me out there if you're struggling. If you need some support, go join a good Facebook group. I'm pretty proud of the Trash to Cash reselling group on Facebook. It's not perfect, but it's one of the best. And there's a lot of really kind, nice folks over there, including Chris, New Jersey Picker, helps us run it. And find yourself a good group. It's why I always suggest Reseller Information Network as well. They're always ready to help and give advice. So thank y'all for watching us. I hope things are going well for you. And I can't wait to see you next time.